All right, and welcome back to the Man Up channel. I'm your host, Bob Buckland, and with me again today is John Font.
Hello out there. How we doing?
And today, as promised, we are going to be talking about the feminist card game Nasty Woman.
Nasty.
And if you are a male that is easily offended, this game is not for you. We both ended up playing this card game this last weekend. Honestly, I thought I was going to be mad about it before you played it, but it was oddly entertaining, to say the least.
I thought it was like completely serious about feminism and proactivism, and then the whole Trump thing went down.
Oh.
I couldn't tell whether that was a joke. Like, it didn't make any. Like, I thought, oh, maybe this was made by like a right wing conservative, and they just thought it was funny. I don't know. Go ahead and explain.
I don't think it was a joke though. But if you haven't heard about this game, it is described to be Cards Against Humanity with a feminist twist. I'm sorry, feminist twist, not feminine. And that's how you kind of have to approach the game is Cards Against Humanities with kind of a political twist. And oddly enough, we played with both our wives, understanding that this game probably was not with our political point of views, but we wanted to play it anyways, and half the times we were laughing. It really wasn't that bad of a card game if you could laugh at yourself.
We had to do a little bit of a role play and pretend that we were nasty women as well, because I really was feeling pretty nasty by the time I got done.
I probably won't ever play this game again.
We burned through all the cards in the first night, right?
No, we didn't. We did all the action cards. We did not do all the statement cards.
Oh, okay. So there was another stack we got, but we got through half the cards.
We did at least half the cards.
3 hours then?
Something like that.
And I didn't hate it. Like, I really was thinking, like, I'm going to hate this, and I really didn't. And then, like I said, the game dynamic that really kind of made me smile about the whole thing was the whole, like, okay, so they have all of these statements that you make, kind of like in Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity. You make these statements. So 2 things struck me. First of all, there are no turns in the game, just like there are in feminism. There's no turns. People just yell at each other, whatever they think the best answer is. The second part was, it didn't matter what you had in your hand, if you got they called it a trumped card, and you were out of the game. Like, that was the end. Like, oh, we got trumped. We're done. Like, what? And that's what kind of made me think it was like a silly thing, because I was like, yeah, 10 your trumped cards in the deck. So you're more likely to get kicked out of the game because of Trump than about anything else.
All right, so let's take a look at some of these action cards we got here. I went through and picked out a couple of my favorite ones. Like John said before, one of the cards is You're Trumped. You can kind of guess the meaning behind this. But if you get a Trump card, it's you are automatically kicked out of the game unless you have a Nasty Woman card to save you.
But you have to sacrifice the Nasty Woman.
You do have the
If you get trumped. Does that mean she goes on the other side of the wall? We can only hope.
With the list of women they gave us, you can only hope, yes.
Let me see if I have the list of women here. No, I don't know.
All right. Here. Back to the action cards. Attack of the Mansplainer. Lose a card. Let's see.
Mansplainer. I think you definitely need to emphasize on that, because that was an interesting... I don't think I'd ever heard that before.
Oh, yeah. We'll look at the definition that comes with the card game for Mansplainer. Let's see.
So if some of the words don't make sense, you don't have to pull the podcast out later and listen to it if you're playing the game, actually. You can just read along the manual.
Yep, here, define with the game Mansplainer. A man who underestimates someone's knowledge of a topic and condescendingly explains it, usually to a woman, with an air of overconfidence, especially when the mansplainer is not an expert himself.
I mean, there are times we've had that happen to us, depending on where we're at, but
it happens every day.
Yeah, it happens to everybody.
Doesn't have to be a man or female issue. It just happens, and giving it the name mansplainer is just demeaning to men everywhere.
We could try Women's Planner. That sounds just weird.
But that's the kicker. That's really the double standard.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't make any more money because I passed Go, though. Anyway.
Well, I can cook. I'm very good at cooking. I've taught my wife a lot about cooking, but I can't bake to save my life. Just can't. So anytime I get even close to the oven, Beth is always on my case about, it has to be at blah, blah degrees. And, I get the basics of it. That's woman-splaining.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, the one person here says that they played it, that she was a feminist, but it wasn't for her. She played with 3 women, all of whom I regard as strong role models. We sat at the table in silence, unable to come up with stuff to say. Most of the cards are things that are alien to all of us. Reading about the various nasty, but actually cool, women was interesting, though. If you can't think of funny things to say about people, this game is not for you. If you wish listed it, then you have to be funny first.
Here's another card. Attack of the Victim Blamer.
Victim
Attack
Blamer.
Of the Internet Troll. Attack of the Birther.
Attack of the Birther. Please emphasize. What are we talking about here? See, I thought birther was that's what Elizabeth calls my wife, but...
That's what I was kind of going for, too, until I read it. If you don't know what the birther is, you can also read it in the official book that they give you with this game. And to summarize, it's anyone who questions Barack Obama's heritage, therefore he can't be president of the United States. That is what a birther is.
I don't know. If you take the game too seriously, I think you're not going to have any fun. But if you go into the game knowing and planning on what you're going into, it can be a pretty fun game at the end of the day.
Like I said, I didn't hate it. I don't think I'm going to play it again, but I didn't hate it.
I mean, it's like Cards Against Humanity. If you're going to play Cards Against Humanity, if you take it seriously, then you're not going to have any fun.
I think this probably would have been a better game if I would have had whiskey and Coke with me. But, that's just my preference. I mean...
Right.
Definitely some kind of alcohol involved.
So that way you could be a more serious, less serious game player with it, so...
To tell you the truth, I think the only real problem I had with this was the list of women that are actually looked up to in this card game.
But, if you have those people in your life, you can just trump them.
I wish.
If only it was that easy.
Here, let's look at that list of women here real quick. Because they got a far spectrum of women here.
Long and far, and it goes back in time even.
You might know this one, Rosa Parks. We like Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks is someone that we should look up to. And then they go all the way to the other end of the spectrum, like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is the devil.
I never knew that Venus Williams was...
Isn't that the tennis player?
Yeah. I've only ever seen her play tennis.
Well, I can get how that would be a role model to look up to. Most athletes would probably be someone to look up to. I just wouldn't call her a
nasty woman, let's say that.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, okay. Maxine Walters? I definitely would never consider her someone to look up to. I mean, even if you look into the state that she governs and see how that's going, no.
No. If you go online, you can see actually the poop map to where everyone has found human poop.
Well, when you have to make an app that shows you where the poop is in the streets, there's something wrong there.
It's very wrong on where to avoid, so...
I get that we live in tiny middle of nowhere in Ohio, where the only real things we got to worry about stepping on in is random cat poop because they outnumber us 2-1. But, come on.
No, we don't have to worry about that. We have to worry about cows sometimes.
Where are we going with this?
I don't know. We are definitely off topic. So overall, I would give it a 5. I think it was a fun, entertaining game for 1 or 2 evenings, but I think you would have a hard time going back for replay value.
You see, out of 5, I would give it maybe a 3. Granted, it is my opinion, so if you would have your own opinion, I'd love to hear and talk about it. But I would have to give it a 3. It was an alright card game, but it just wasn't for me.
Oh, I don't blame
you. Not saying it's because I'm anti-feminist or pro-masculinity, which I am pro-masculinity. I think anyone that's listened to the show long enough will find out that I'm pro-masculinity. But I'm not anti-feminist, but this game just wasn't for me.
Oh, no, I mean, I think the things that it promotes are definitely not good by any means. Like I said, the whole Trump thing just was kind of funny that they actually made it like I guess like a trump card. Like it literally was the trump card of the game, which is kind of funny if you ask me.
It is. It is the worst card you can get in this entire game is you've been trumped.
But it was also the most powerful card, frankly.
Which I guess that shows just how masculine Trump really is.
I guess.
He can even make it into card games and just blow all these nasty women out of the water.
Right. And the only way you can win is by sacrificing the nasty women so you don't get trumped.
I think there's a life lesson there.
I think so.
We can definitely sacrifice a lot of these women.
I've been saying for years that's why Nancy Pelosi isn't scared of the COVID-19 virus because she's already dead.
She's a daywalker.
She's a daywalker.
Boom, boom, boom.
She's already been dead for more years than we can. And they just keep electing her.
Democrats, what can he do?
I have heard there are dogs that have been elected mayor. None of them Congress people yet, though.
You know, I would probably vote Snoopy for president. He seems fairly low.
Yeah, that could work out.
Plus, he was a World War One. What's that World War One where he was a plane or jet fighter?
A dog house flyer.
Yeah, when he was fighting the Red Baron.
It could have been. I don't remember. I know he used to. Boy, it's been so long since I've watched Snoopy.
Yeah, but I love that beagle.
He was a good beagle. That's for sure. Well, anything else you'd like to say about the game, Bob, or had any other comments that you wanted to put out there for it?
About this game, not really.
Amazon $9.99.
It's even reading the reviews on Amazon. They're pretty much saying the same thing we are. I mean, it's an alright game. I wouldn't buy it for anybody, but you know,
wouldn't buy it for anybody.
If you want to, more power to you. It's all good.
It was a fun evening to watch and play with our wives. That they thought it was funny, and they had some other things to say about things, which I thought was interesting.
It just kind of makes me want start my own game, like we were talking about. We'll call it Grumpy Guys.
Grumpy Guys.
Yep, and we'll have, I don't know, in it.
We'll have barbecue wiener cards.
Ooh. I do enjoy barbecuing cards.
Right?
You get extra points when you don't blow anything up on the grill.
That would be our problem. The whole thing would be about food. Like it would just be about like burgers and fries and like
4th of July. You shoot all fireworks and you keep all your digits. Get another card.
Do home repair. Finish it in a week. Your wife doesn't kill you.
I can beat that one. You're doing a home repairs. Supposed to take an hour job. Takes all weekend to finish it. Lose a card.
Right? What would be our trumped card?
Oh.
So many choices.
There is. That's a good one. It would have to be something to do with Hillary.
I mean, it could be something with like a long term. Like it could be like just football season starts, lose a card. Or something to that effect.
You get an extra day off. Wife reminds you of the honeydew list. Lose a card.
Yes. Lose a day. That would be how it would go. You'd have to survive a month as a man. Oh, boss says you're working 70 hours instead of 30.
Wife's gone for the weekend. Baby won't stop crying. You lose your mind. Lose a turn.
Lose a turn. Go to jail. Burn down the state house. Oh, brother. Yeah, that would be a fun game. Maybe we have to put something like that together. That would be entertaining.
We're definitely going to put some thought into it. And we'll let you guys know when we come out with the card game Grumpy Guys. Coming to stores near you. With saying that, this has been the Man Up channel. Please like and subscribe. We'd like to hear from you, and we'll catch you later.
See ya.